respect to what is image fusion, what are the different types of image fusions, right? So what you understood by what is meant by image fusion? Can anyone let me know? What is meant by image fusion? What you understood since 3 days? Yes, yes. So there are two ways of image fusion. One is single sensor image fusion. The other one is multi-sensor image fusion. So suppose if she is taking pictures, so with one camera. So instead of that, 2, 3 members are taking simultaneous, photos from the different cameras. So and if so the person is same, but the source of the taking the images is different. And if I have all that, and if I combine that to get a better quality, that is called as image fusion. So if it is a single sensor, if she is trying to take with a time duration at T1 seconds one photo, T2 seconds one more photo, so like that, if she is taking the different images with the camera, we'll call it as a single sensor image fusion. And if there are multiple opportunities to take the photo at the same time, here the time is same, so then we'll call it as a multi-sensor image fusion. So, but all these respect to enhance the image. So suppose if that particular camera is having the, pixel power is very, very low, but the another, there is another super camera, if it is capturing more information than this. So if I combine these two, or if I take the one which is having the low resolution, if I keep it on the another high resolution image, so that particular process we'll call it as a image fusion. So overlapping low image on the high resolution image. So in order to extract the better quality image, we'll call it as a image fusion. So this is the general definition we are hearing from last 3 days, but this is the example of that image fusion. So here the scene is same, like the person is same here, but the pictures she is taking is different pictures. If all that pictures at the different times, if we are combining to get a better quality of that particular scene, then we'll call it as an image fusion. But in terms of the surveillance, the definition is different. It is not with respect to a single sensor, but it is with respect to the multiple sensor image fusion. Then we'll call it as a surveillance. Surveillance is nothing but the safety, security purposes. So we are taking this surveillance in terms of the military, in terms of the medical image processing, or in terms of the remote sensing, or in terms of the aeronautical engineering. So these are the 4 different applications with respect to the surveillance. So here all it depends upon only multi-sensor image fusion, but not the single sensor image fusion. That is the first difference between the last slide definition and this particular slide. And as ma'am said in the morning session, so there might be not only multi-sensor, there might be a multi-dataset fusion, or there might be a multi-classifier image fusion. So there are different types, but all comes together for the under the umbrella of surveillance. So surveillance mainly deals with multiple data, either in terms of a sensor data, or it might be a data sets data, or it might be a different classifiers. So that is image fusion in surveillance. And mainly this surveillance requires 4 interior characteristics. One is it should not have any background noise, because we are using it the military purposes. It should not have any background noise. And also it should detect some object even at the night times also. So the main purpose here is night vision cameras are there to get that particular image. So that is why we are using the enhanced night vision using the image fusion surveillance. So what is the need for image fusion is, as you said, so it is a better, you have to, if you want to get the enhanced image or the quality of the image, if you want to get better quality, then you have to go with respect to image fusion, and thereby whatever the low resolution that can be once if I put it on the if I fused into the high resolution image, whatever the redundancy or whatever the noisy captures, so that will give that will be gone with respect to this image fusion process. Right. So there are different types of images. One is, we'll call it as multi-sensor. As I said, so the multi-sensor is the same image taken by the multiple resources. Then there is a multi-focus image. So multi-focus image is nothing but it deals with the 3D images taken at different times. Here the time is different. And the next one is multi-temporal image fusion. Here this is also, and as the time scale is changing from time to time. So at each slot we are taking one picture and we are trying to merge it together to make it as a fused image. So, and the last one is multi-view image. So here this difference, there is a two type of multi-views. One is single modality, the other one is multiple modality. Single modality is nothing but same base. So suppose if I am doing the medical diagnosis, I have to get the images of the same type, like an MRI or CT or PET, whatever it is. So that is, we'll call it as a single modality. So suppose if I want to diagnose from the different whatever this scan, like a MRI and whatever it is, CT scan, PET, then we'll call it as a multimodal modality. Right. So these are the three different sources that we can get it from the online. Whoever are doing the brain cancer research, so they can go with respect to this. This is a Harvard University. So there you will get down so many data sets. Okay, so this is for brain cancer. And the next one is for, there is a lot of examples are there. So just like that, at initial stage, just like that, you can copy those particular example codes and you can do that particular image fusion. So there are the similar examples. So the examples written in even MATLAB or even in Python. You can copy the same exact code on your MATLAB or Python window. So then you can do how the output you are getting. So the next one is the DSP. So here it is. This is also having so many examples using the wavelength-based transformation. So many codes are already existed. You can go through those. Right. So the examples for the multi-sensor is, as I told, the sensors are different. So different cameras like that. So one photo may be taken from the visual sensor or the IR sensor, or it might be any other particular sensor. So the photos will be like this. That depends upon the wavelength of that particular sensor. So visual like this, the picture will appear like this. IR sensor is like this. Okay. So this is multi-sensor images. So you can use these two. So one is, if you see the visual one, it is more clarity. When the same picture is taken with respect to the IR sensor, it is less quality. So you can use these two to get a better quality image output. So similarly, there is one more example. So this is visual sensor photo, and this is through the IR sensor. You can use these two as a image 1 and image 2 in your code, and then you can apply the image fusion algorithm. You can get the better quality image. So this is multi-sensor, and the next one is multi-modal medical images. As I told, multi-modality is nothing but same thing. So if it is multi-modality, so the images we are seeing that are from the different scans. So one is from MRI, the other is from PET, or the other one is from CT scan. And if I want to diagnose in a clean way, so then I have to combine all these different modalities, fuse it in such a way to get the better quality image. So that we call it as a multimodal image fusion. The next one is images from the same modality image. From I'm taking only MRI. There are the different weightage of that particular wavelength coefficients. One is, we'll call it as PD, the other one is T1 and T2. PD is nothing but this is a special type of MRI where the protein density is captured with respect to the bones. Okay, so the next one, T1 and T2 are the coefficients. The difference between those two, all these three lies in terms terms of whatever the wavelength coefficients that it captures. So this is the same modality. And the next one is, this is from dock images. Dock is nothing but at the different optic conditions. So if the same photo is taken at the morning times, the image will be appears like this. If the photo is taken at during night times, the image appears in a dull manner. So suppose if I want to combine these two multi-focus, then the resultant we have to analyze how the output of that particular multi-focus image will be, image fusion will be. And we are seeing this particular structure from last 3 days. What are the types of image fusion? What are the types? You have seen one is feature level, pixel level, and the next one is decision level. And there is one more, call it as hybrid level, that combines the picture and feature level. Okay. So the description of this is nothing but pixel level is nothing but any picture is having divided into multiple pixels. And if I want to get a more clear information from the different sources, so then I have to create what is the fused image after applying this pixel level image fusion. So then features is nothing but, like we said in the morning, there are edges, corners of each of that image. So we will take that as a features and we will extract the features of each and every image. So image 1, I'll extract this corresponding image, corresponding features. And for image 2 also, I'll extract the corresponding features. I'll combine these two after applying this image fusion algorithm. So then the resultant, whatever the fused image, will have the better quality appearance. So the next decision level, this is what morning ma'am has said. So decision level is nothing but we have to use the final output decision is made by this particular algorithm. What is the output? Whether if I have three, four answers, I have to decide which answer is appropriate for my target resolution. Okay, so for that I have to take the decision. This particular feature comes after the image fusion. So first we have to do the image fusion. We have to take two images, then fuse these two, and I have some output. Then I have to take the decision which one is having better quality. I have to apply different type of image fusion algorithms. So for the first one, what is the output and accuracy? For the second algorithm, after applying, what is the output I am getting? So based on the outputs of that accuracy, I have to decide which algorithm is the perfect decision algorithm. So this particular decision level comes after the fused images. Okay, so at the output side, if you want to decide which algorithm works better, then we have to go with respect to decision level. But feature level is nothing but if I have two features, I have to extract the individual features of each of the image, then we have to combine this to get a better quality. So the basic steps in any image fusion is, from the first session Naidus are told about, we have to register each of the image. So how can we register? What is meant by registration? Right. So if there is an image of some length by breadth, this is the size of the original image. And if I have one more image of left side, and if I want to fuse this, it is not possible. So if I want to fuse these two images, I have to enlarge the second one also, so that both images should be aligned properly. Then only I have to apply the image fusion algorithm. So that is what we'll call it as an image registration. First, we have to register so that both should be properly maintained in the same cells. Okay? Same resolution. So then I have to do the pre-processing technique, and then after that post-processing. Post-processing is nothing but there are some different levels. To calculate the accuracy, there are different algorithms are there. We have to apply that to extract the quality of the particular image. So this is the first one, image registration. So it is nothing but it is the quality of that particular image, so that I can overlap the low resolution image on the high resolution image. So if it is having the size length by breadth is, if it is less compared to the first image, I have to zoom it so that both I can use it for an image fusion algorithm. So that is the image registration. So then the pre-processing is nothing but, So after registration, I have to take the corresponding algorithm for the image segmentation. So I have two images. I merged these two. I have to segregate it where the exact pixel by pixel data I can extract it. Okay, so that I can do it with respect to the pre-processing. The post-processing is nothing but it can be done only at the time of the last process. So this is to know only the accuracy purpose. What are the different algorithms that I can apply so that I can get the enhanced image. There are the different type of classification. The one classification is the base of the classification is there are only two types of image fusions. One is single sensor image fusion. The other one is multi-sensor image fusion. But on top, as per records, there are two types. One is we'll call it as a spatial domain image fusion. The other one is a temporal domain image fusion. Okay, so these are the whatever the algorithms till now we discussed with the another resource persons. So those are considered only spatial domain methods, and there are some temporal domain where we can get this various transform techniques. So these are all nothing but the temporal based image fusion techniques. Okay, so the actual thing here is what is the applications of the image fusion. So what are the applications that you can guess from with respect to the image fusion? What are the applications that you can get with respect to the image fusion? What are the applications that you can guess with respect to image fusion? So on top, there are, we can say that the image fusion can be applicable for with respect to the enhance the quality of the image for any purpose like a communication field, whatever it is, cloud-based data also you can combine and you can get the better quality of the image. So this is on top, we can tell like that. But particularly with respect to the surveillance, what are the applications of the image fusion? Military. Next, military. On military, what is the purpose of this image fusion with respect to military? To detect that particular object, and you have to track that image. And during the night time also, that particular cameras are able to detect the other side person. So this is the use of this image fusion in case of the military purpose. So in other way, medical imaging. So suppose there is a brain cancer patient. If I want to analyze that particular brain cancer disease of that particular patient, I have to get a CT scan. You know what is known as CT scan? Computer tomography. So what is the difference between CT scan and MRI? There are different sources available, right? So CT scan, PET, MRI, SPECT also there. What are the difference between all this? Which one is better? MRI is better, but it is too costly. CT scan, you will get, if you compare these two images. So here there is a CT scan. CT scan image will be like this. This is for brain, and this is also MRI scan. So what you observe between the difference between these two images? The clarity of this. So this is the particular ligand in that particular brain. Okay. So here it is not visible clearly where the exact tumor is like. Right. So this is the difference between the MRI is more, resolution is high, but it is too costly when compared to the CT scan. And this is an image for SPECT. Okay, so SPECT is nothing but only if you want color images, you have to go with respect to SPECT. This is also costly equal to the amount of the MRI. So this is the MRI. So if I want to diagnose, in a clear manner, then we have to get the different modalities. This is what we call it as modalities. The different bases like MRI, SPECT, PET, and CT scan, and we have to combine, use all these to get the diagnosis better way. So these are the applications of the image fusion. So the image fusion can be used in weapon detection in case of the military purposes. The next one is in case of the robot vision also you can do. Then the remote sensing, satellite imaging. So then there is a aerial imaging. Then the battlefield monitoring during the night time. And then there is a digital camera application. So listed here. One is video surveillance. Video surveillance is nothing but you have to get the object tracking. Then you have to analyze what is the crowd monitoring, traffic surveillance, and intrusion detection. So intrusion detection is nothing but if there is any unauthorized access, then you have to find out like a thief. So suppose if there is any secured area like military area, and if any unauthorized person enters into that particular area, you have to detect that using that particular sensor or whatever the camera attached to that. Okay, so that is intrusion detection also. One of the application of this video surveillance. The next one is military and defense applications. So mainly in defense, you have to detect that particular whatever the detection, tracking, and identification of that the other people who is coming near to the border. Then you have to find out what is the weapon detection and battlefield monitoring. And especially for military surveillance, you have to know what is the nighttime guidance. So nighttime using the low light cameras like what she is using. This is a low light cameras. This will work only during morning time. And during the night time, these cameras, whatever the picture she is taking, that will not be appropriate resolution. So there is special cameras are there. So that will work only during the night times. So that is nighttime cameras. We'll call it as a thermal sensors. That will give the exact visibility of that particular intruder. So the next one, this is a medical image surveillance. So this can be, so as I said, the different pictures we require. All this surveillance comes under multi-sensor image fusion. So that multiple images like a PET scan and CT scan, PET, MRI, all these we have to merge them to get the better quality of that image to diagnose what is the disease of that particular patient. And the advantages of this is, as I said, to improve the better quality of that image, that is the first one, and to enhance the detection of that any object like facial recognition or whatever that small projects we are doing in the curriculum. So it's like image classification or the fruit identification. If I keep one fruit in front of one camera, it has to identify which type of fruit it is. So for that also we can use this such type of this image fusion techniques. So the next one is to reduce the effects of this during the lighting, whether it is morning time or night time, or whether it is weather conditions also during it is sunny or rainy. That particular image fusion has to give the better quality image. That is the main purpose of introducing this image fusion. So, but there are some challenges in surveillance. One is registration errors. So, what is registration? If the particular first image size is bigger and the second image which we are going to fuse with the first image size is very less, then if I'm trying to fuse these two images, then there is an error in that. So I have to zoom the second image equal to the first image size. So then only I'm able to fuse these two. If I'm not doing that, there is an error occurs. That is the first one, registration errors. The next one is technical complexity. So there are some basic algorithms like a PCA, wavelet transform, and so on. If I'm using the modest hybrid algorithms, then the complexity definitely increases. That is another challenge with respect to surveillance. And the next one is interpretation variability. There might be different interpretation that depends upon the resolution of that particular sensor. So there is a variability in that interpretation. So finally, what is the steps that we have to follow if I want to fuse a test? First, the very first step is I have to get two images. If I want to start image fusion, first step is I have to acquire two images. That is the image acquisition. The next one is I have to transform the coefficients. So for image registration, I have to get what is this characteristics of the first image, characteristics of the second image. Then we have to try to combine these two. So that is, we'll call it as the transform the coefficients of two images. Then I have to use fusing technique. So fusing is once both are at same size, I can deploy the second image onto the first image so that the background image can be properly fused. Then I have to apply the inverse transform techniques to extract the original characteristics of my original image. Then the resultant is my fused image. So these are the steps we have to follow even while writing the code. So MATLAB is having the inbuilt codes for this. So you can go through that. Right. So then one more thing, there is another application of this image fusion that is in terms of entertainment. Can you guess it? For entertainment also we are using this image fusion technique. Entertainment in terms of filmmaking. So suppose originally if you take any avatar or whatever the film, so the person is acting in one place, but the whatever these images, those are they are taking care in terms of a computer programming. They are mapping this particular image human onto that particular computer photo. So if you want.
You knew this would happen? Because of the nature of the show, with this alien plan, this alien culture, we had a choice. We could do it, like it's always been done.
Can you tell about image fusion itself?
Stupid.
This is the computer where they are doing this some sort of animations, but the person is actually doing that exactly in another place.
But before he could do that, Cameron first had to make sure his technology could cross what's known in robotics and animation as the uncanny valley.
Let's say it's an absolute given. This is kind of time moves. As you approach human, our attraction to the character. Second, just when you get to a true human, back up. You need to get on the far side of that dip response curve, which is called the uncanny valley. We need to get to the opposite side where we believe. We don't have to necessarily believe that it's 100% total real, and we don't have to necessarily believe that they actually exist, but we have to believe that as a motion creature. And so we can.
So that's it. So there is person is acting separately in another place. So where the computer is there in another window. So where this person actions, we are mapping onto that computer so that we can use these two to get a better feel. So these are the references. And I'll show the MATLAB codes. If you have this instance with you, please open. MATLAB library. This is the first code to do the image fusion. For doing image fusion, first step is we have to load the image acquisition. So means that we have to acquire the images for the further processing. So for that, the MATLAB inbuilt command is load. I have taken two images. One is masked image, the other one is burst image. So the original image. So for that, the first step is to acquire the images, and the second one is directly I am merging these two. So by using one of the image fusion algorithm, one of that algorithm is wavelet transform. So I use a DV2 algorithm, DV2 wavelet transform, and for that DV2 we have to give how many number of wavelet coefficients exist. So that is I have taken 5. So there is only one MATLAB inbuilt command for image fusion. That is, we'll call it as FUZIMG, fuse image. So suppose if I'm using wavelet image fusion, so the command here is WFUS IMG. So this is the inbuilt command. For that, what it requires is the minimum and prerequisite is two images, X1 and X2, and what type of image fusion algorithm I'm using, that is WB, how many number of coefficient, that is LB. And for all this, I have to match the mean and the mean for the each and every image. So the mean of the first one, comma mean of the second one. It should match, then only I can do the image fusion. So that is this particular statement. So then I applied this mean fusion and also the max mean image fusion. So the same image fusion. So the inbuilt command is same. The inputs are X1 and X2. That is also same. And I'm using here also wavelet transform with the 5 coefficient. But here algorithm is I'm taking the maximum and minimum values of the each and every image. So for the first image, what is the maximum and minimum values? For the second image, what is the maximum and minimum values? And I have to use the inbuilt command, that is WFUSIMG, wavelet fusion image. So once I do fusion, I have the fused image. Then I'm trying to plot these images onto the figure window. So this is the first image. So first I'm trying to plot what is the original image. Original image I'm taking it as a mask image, and the second one is I'm taking it as a burst image. And I'm fusing these two, the synthesized image with respect to mean algorithm. This is the first another window, another figure. So and then the next fused images based on the max mean algorithm. So this is the next one. So if we go with respect to this, the output of this is the same code is here. This is the output of that. I have taken two input images. One is mask of that same person. The next one is burst image, original image. I am trying to fuse these two. The first method I am following is mean to mean algorithm. This is the output of that. And the second one which I have taken as fusion image using the wavelet transform. But here the algorithm I have applied it as min to max or max to min. So these are the two outputs with respect to two different algorithms with respect to wavelet transform. Okay. So the first step is I have to take two images, then I have to fuse these two into one of the image fusion algorithm. So this is the first one, and the second code is right. So if I have two fuzzy version of images. So after neural network, the output of that first images, I'm calling it as fusion image, fuzzy image, first one. I'm calling this as I loaded this image with the name as cat1, and the second image is cat2. These are the two images, and I'm applying the same wavelet transform, but then here the wavelet transform is the algorithm here is 15.4. Okay, this is the inbuilt MATLAB command with the same coefficients 5, and again I'm trying to fuse it using the max to min. So the inbuilt command is WFUSIMG is the inbuilt command, and I have two input images X1, X2, and WB is my wavelet transform, and the particular algorithm which we are using for the wavelet transform is earlier we have used DB2 as the wavelet transform. Here SIM4 is the another algorithm which we are using for wavelet transform. And the next one, LB is nothing but the number of coefficients, wavelet coefficient, and I'm applying max to max here. Okay, so then I'm trying to plot these images. So the synthesized image, we call it as a fused image. So first I loaded two fuzzy versions of the original image. So these two are the original image fuzzy version images. So then I'm trying to fuse these two using the wavelet transform, particularly SIM4 wavelet transform. Okay, so then I'm using the inbuilt MATLAB command. With respect to the algorithm is max to max. We can use the max to min or min to min. You can modify these two last two parameters here. Then we can try to plot what is the input image, two images, and what is the output synthesized image. So this is the first image. This is the fuzzy version of the first original image. This is also comes from the another fuzzy version of the another image. The after fusion, this is the resultant. The quality of this fused image is better compared to the original images. So this is the second code. Any doubts with respect to this?
Which toolbox should we use?
This is deep learning toolbox, signal processing toolbox, wavelet transform, DSP. For DSP, what are the toolboxes which we are using? Signal processing, data.
That will be
The
the
same.
same.
Any doubt? Can you try with these two codes? And I'll send these two images. What is this fusion version of the images? This is online available fusion version images. We can download and we can load it onto the MATLAB window. Then we can use it. Only one inbuilt command is there, so that you can use. And we have to pass 5 parameters if you are using the wavelet transform. One is 2 images. Input the image 1, image 2. Then what is the type of algorithm you are using, wavelet transform, and number of coefficients of that. Then you have to use either min to min or max to max or max to min or mean to mean. So only the last two parameters will vary with respect to wavelet transform. Similarly, we can use the PCA and all other whatever the other resource person mentioned different type of image fusion method. But only this is same with respect to all. Only the parameters, inbuilt local parameters will change. This is the WhatsApp. And these images also are sent in the WhatsApp.
What was the change? Who's sharing? ఇందులో పెట్టేసి చూసి చిన్నమంది ఇన్పుట్స్ అవుట్పుట్స్
మీరు ఈ మ్యాటర్ విడిగా ఇన్పుట్ ఇమేజెస్ పెట్టారా? Paste the same code, you get the output.
లోడ్
Yeah, it's inbuilt images. General images. Otherwise, image one, like this, you can load the images and your own image like this, image one. You can load it there with the what is the location of that particular image. This is image one and this is image one. You can write after load, you can write what is the, part of that particular image where it is loaded. So directly you can give this.
running your codes and it is unable to find the file or directly mask.
Directly to get the output. Directly is paste here in any editor. Then run it. Input image.